I'm Scott Heiferman, and I am the co-founder and CEO here. I want to really thank you all for being here. You built something right, or at least half right, if the speech you wanted to give was already just given by people in your community. And no, really, I mean that in your role as leaders, can the people in your meetups, the ones who you really believe in, do they understand the purpose and the soul and the spirit of your meetup as much as you do? And you know what? Just over time, being yourself as a leader, it naturally happens. But man, this is such a dream. It's an amazing thing to be in this special room full of all of you who are impacting people's lives, changing people's lives, bringing people together. And by the way, it's not going to be a bunch of dudes up here all day. We've had 3 in a row. I can see this is a room, I think, mostly women. And it's not just women that are the community builders, but I have learned they've got that spirit in spades. Back up a second. Shane, he talked about welcoming. That is, he's so right. And there was a group of new Meetup employees that I sat with, and I told them about how I said the spirit of Meetup is welcoming, that we're making welcoming, we're creating welcoming in the world. And it sounds a little generic, just like the word community sounds generic. You could say that any old bank will say welcoming. And I said to them, name another company that is making welcoming happen, or any organization making welcoming happen. And we came up with ideas. One person said, well, Disney, you go to Disney World and they make you feel welcome, right? But here's the thing, Mickey Mouse doesn't love you. So, you can be made to feel welcome. You can go into Walmart and and that greeter will in a true spirit say, make you feel welcome, and Mickey Mouse will give you a hug at Disney World, and the bank and every other company, and your phone company and your electric company, they'll all kind of talk about welcoming, and you'll call customer support and they'll say, we really care about you, and these are good people. I'm sure they do. But what are we really making here? What are you making? You're making real relationships, real community, real connections, and of course, half your meetups might suck, and half the people might have a bad experience. I'm sure not in this group that happens, but when it works, it really works. When it works, there's a swarming of support. You see this, this Meetup logo with the M and the swarming around. What that means, we're bringing you into the tent here. What that means is that real community is about providing that safety net, that social safety net, that swarming of support. It's when, how many of you can say that and you may not even know that it's happening, but do you have a sense that your members are helping each other out? Yes. If you're bringing people together as you are, it's happening. And again, if Mickey Mouse doesn't love you, and you could get all the warm and fuzzies from Mickey, but how do you really bring people together? And so in a world where in a world that seems to be pulling people apart a bit more, in a world filled and dominated with the people are wondering, is technology good or bad? Is it just these companies that are just giant data-sucking ad machines? What's real, and who's trying to make the world that we want? Yes. You are. Who's bringing people together? You are. Who's bringing people together in real life? You are. We are. Who's bringing people together in real life to create community? Who's bringing people together in real life to create community and opportunity? So that is that is, now that word opportunity, again, another one of these, like, people can throw around community, they can throw around welcoming, they can throw around opportunity. But, here you are in New York City. And what is a city? A city is just a smashing together of people. And out of that smashing together of people and colliding of people and throwing people together, out comes people having access to other people, and opportunity emerges, and things get built, and you bring people together, and babies are born, and businesses are born, and bands are born, and that's just what happens. Now, the worst things in the world happen when people meet up, but more often than not, the best things in the world happen when people meet up, and that's what you're doing. So, these are all, like, I can talk and just sort of generically look at your faces and say, yeah, I'm sure you're doing this, but I've looked at all your meetup groups. As you know, there's over 250,000 meetup groups. We'll actually have more. We'll have 100. There's 150 meetup groups, 150 new organizers, 150 meetup groups will get started every 7 or 8 hours, 24/7. But I've looked at yours. I had nothing to do with picking you to be here, by the way. But since, so I know a lot of you are going to feel really bad because I'm going to show off some of you and not most of you. But know that, like, the soul is in all these. But I just want to give you a sense of who's here. You've got, and by the way, just yell if this is. I know, actually, that's you right there. I met you last night. You've got from I love that name, Dine with the Michelin Stars. You've got this dining meetup in London, to this pet loss meetup in Denver, to the young adult cancer from New York and St. Louis. I have no idea what a Space Frontier meetup is. All right, give us the quickie. What is it? Yep. Cool. All right. We will have the first Mars meetup, and I will say there is a lot. Sometimes you have to wonder what are people working on in the technology industry and all the things going on, and I believe that there's not enough attention being paid to how to make life right on Earth. So no offense to the thinking about. Actually, I shouldn't get into this debate. I'll just stop. I'll stop right there. I'll stop right there. Know when to shut up, Scott. Okay, but no, that's great. So. We got Ghost Skate New York City. We got the New York Strategic HR Analytics Meetup, also from New York, and we have Neha from coming from Delhi, who I think you're going to hear from more. So we've got Australia to India. Now here's the thing. Not only did I looked at your meetups, but I read all your the meetup group descriptions, and that is what just tells me flat out that there's something special brewing here, and something special in this room. So one of the themes, when you look at them all, you'll see words like. By the way, where's Stu? Is Stu here? Yeah, there you are, Stu. Okay. So, and by the way, I'm a sucker for a good meetup photo. I don't know if y'all can see that, but how great is that one? So Stu says, GhostGate wants to help people realize their dream of, finish it, Stu? Of skateboarding. Okay, of skateboarding. Fine. So this is one of the most important, obvious but forgotten sort of themes. You heard about welcoming, what it means to, and I love the way Shane put it, is like, just to gutturally really welcome someone and to make your community something that people just feel welcome. But everyone coming to your meetup is coming with some dream, some hunger, some want, some need, something. And maybe they're just lonely. Maybe they're looking for friends. But there's a million different reasons, and some people will just sort of look at a skateboarding meetup and say, "Oh, that's fun. People are skateboarding. That sounds great." But the fact that Stu wrote their dream, things run deep in people. The hunger that they have, and that's what you're unlocking with your meetup. So that theme of the dream. So this, where is Cora here from Akron, Ohio? I believe that we are, kind of in a phase of history where, because we kind of went through that sort of consumerized, industrialized, 20th century where everything is about, everything is kind of over corporatized and you could buy your way to anything. The simple power of unlocking potential just by bringing people together. Now, Cora's not the only writers meetup organizer here. Holler if you're a writers meetup organizer. There's a whole lot of you. Now, I have noticed, by the way, that, y'all like your typewriters. So we've got from Akron to Mesa to Montreal. It's lots of typewriters in your group photos. And by the way, it's not just writers meetups. Is Eric here from New Mexico? All right, Eric's got the typewriter and his filmmakers of New Mexico meetup. Now, all right. Now, I am a sucker for a good meetup photo, but I'm even more into a crazy, meaningful purpose. And by the way, your meetup could be something that people think is silly, but or it's not that serious, but the purpose actually can run deep. For example, is Yvonne here? Yvonne Summers. I know that she's okay. Yvonne runs the New York City Tiny House Empowering Women Girls Build Meetup. I met her, and by the way, I just got to zoom in on that photo for a minute. She basically says, now I popped into her meetup one day with my daughter, and first off, she did the thing that great meetup organizers should do, which is had everyone go around and say why they're there. But so there were about 8 women there, and she does. These are just the new member orientation for her, building this big community of building tiny houses. And 2 of the women had the same exact story. They said that when I was growing up, my dad taught my brother how to use power tools, and not me or my sister. And so they're just saying, screw it. We're gonna and talk about. I mean, it's almost too literal, but come on, it's empowerment. And what a great and they're doing it. Now this actually is a moment for me to touch on this. This society is what? Why is this doing this? Is Anna here? Yeah. So Anna, this and actually this spirit of we, you're going to meet. Actually, I'm probably running out of time, so I'm going to skip this whole. Who is WeWork? What are they? You're gonna meet one of the founders of WeWork later, but. Check it. That's an interesting meetup photo. The next one is Nina here from Atlanta. Single moms pursuing their promise. Now you want to talk descriptions. You want to talk descriptions. A lot of you have some amazing ones, but I gotta pull out a paragraph of hers here. She says. I remember missing out on countless opportunities because I lacked money or childcare. I complained every time my kids were sick or I had a networking event I couldn't attend. I decided enough was enough. I met with other single moms. That's when the birth of this group occurred. Now I'm on, or rather should I say we, are on a mission. If you can relate to some of these challenges, desires, passions, please connect with us. We could use a few good women. What a great writer she is. So that's the spirit of what we're all doing here. Couple other lines from what y'all wrote in your meetup descriptions. How do you pronounce your name? Michelle? Michelle. So I love this line of yours. Come for the discussion, leave with a new friend. At Meetup, we think a lot about how you have to come for the benefit and stay for community. A lot of people in the world, they just want to hike. They're not looking to, be all into community, but they come for the benefit and then they stay for community. Another one here, Latanya, if you're around, she wrote this group was created to build a tribe of women who support each other. This group will help you reclaim your self-worth. And I love that she says this is not for women who are not willing to give or get support. So being and I gotta point out, this is Chrissy. Is it Chrissy? Is that? Oh, Anna. Yeah. Actually, could we? I want to. Can you get a mic? Is there another mic? I'll just give her my mic. We were at the last night. You said something to me about how now this. I wonder if this is true for your meetups. It's ostensibly about being a dad or skating or hiking or writing or filmmaking or something. But what always happens with the best communities is that people end up supporting each other and talking about things way beyond what the meetup is about. You all know what I'm saying, right? So Anna, it's Anna, not Anna. Anna, she was telling me about what happens so she runs this amazing crafting meetup, which, by the way, what you're seeing on the screen there is that sort of swarming of support. She actually tapped some of her community to help pay for some of the expenses around coming to town. But is it all about crafting? Is that all people talk about?
Yes, it's just about the glue. Sorry, I brought my Austin allergy with me. So I started it also. I was new to Austin, wanted to make friends, thought it would be like 30, 40 people getting together and having drinks and crafting. We now have 4,600 members, I think a little over that, which blows my mind. And it's not at all about the crafting now. The crafting is totally the excuse to get together. The last class, a woman was explaining that she just left an abusive marriage where her clavicle was broken and set and needed a place to come and just reconnect with women. The class before that, a woman talked about how she's now actually a counselor for sobriety therapist. She used the classes as a place to come to get sober. She said, I needed a Saturday place to come, or I would start hitting the bars and start drinking early, So it literally is this place where everybody leaves getting a number from somebody. I love that one that said, come for was it writing and then leave with the friends? It's totally that. Two of my best friends are from the group. And I have to say, we saw a big surge, not to get into politics, but with recent events in our world, I think a lot of people were really disheartened, and I've just seen it really be a place for people to come together from different cultures and say, this is a home for you. You've moved here, you're loved. And the making stuff gets people there. You know what I mean? The making stuff is the excuse, for sure.
Okay. So I've got to wrap up where there's going to be lots of breaking into groups. There's going to be lots of organizers speaking up. I'll just fly through and just, holler if this is you. We've got, I'm not even gonna read it. We've got, I have to point out the photography meetups. There's so many of them. There's every category here, but, photography meetups tend to have good photos in there. Although the one question I had was to Johnny. Is Johnny here? Hey. So I'm from the Midwest, and I've never seen any bears. You know, kind of, are there bears on the streets of Detroit? Is that what you're saying? Stand up. No bears. All right. Good. Well, welcome. So lots of photography meetups. Love the spirit of this one on the right. We got photography meetups from Chicago to another outside Chicago and Paris, and artists helping artists. That's what it's all about. And this artist meetup in Denver, I love the line where they say, of course, meet each other, get constructive feedback, bring ideas, sketches, inspirations, and frustrations. Well written. How do you pronounce your name? Madhu. Yep. Well done. Well done. Now we got you just pick a city here, and in this room we've got from Berlin, ranging from the living room concert hall, which I saw, which I read about, is maximum 25 people. Is that right? Where is this? Is this organizer here? And imagine all their meetups limited to 25 people, and they put on a concert in each one. Lots of now hiking meetups tend to have some nice words and script that they put on top of their photos. So here in how do you pronounce Puyallup, Washington? Puyallup, sorry. It's a new adventure. And then here in Fort Collins, they say this is our gym, the outside, and of course there's Hike New Jersey. We've got Hudson Valley hikers. Sorry, I know that I'm not giving props to all of them. Lots of hikers. Now this one on the end here. Now this guy. Where is this guy here? All right. So there's always the category of just crazy, and crazy's good. Crazy organizer who says, we never list difficulty of hike or length. We usually get lost. Discussions are open to everything. So if you're skittish on subjects like politics, religion, sex, do not join. We will talk and argue about everything. So, but I noticed Now I noticed that Mark also, he runs another meetup, but now look how he hacks the system here. His name displayed is him and his phone number. Now, are you crazy? Who puts? Now my theory here is that y'all are crazy. So you might want to text him right now if you want. But that's the point here, is that we need a little crazy in this world. You know, it is a terrifying, awkward, bizarre, scary thing to go and do not only what you do, but for your members to show up. It's a hell of a lot easier. Just stay at home. Be glued to Facebook. Stay stuck to your screen. Watch Netflix, whatever it is. But I believe that there's really a fork in the road in history right now, and that fork in the road is either we're gonna kind of veer towards things are hard for people. Everyone struggles, and so do you distract? Do you kind of increase to have more despair and less sort of dignity for people, and just kind of go into go into a hole, because that sometimes works. Sometimes we all just want to go into a hole. Or do we turn to each other? So we either turn on each other, more anger, more division, or we turn to each other. And the vision, the thing that we've got, those of you in this room, you're the future, the seeds of this path, which is to say, how do we create a more meetup-y world? How do we have a world where people, within miles, within hours, within days, they can find the other people when they find themselves interested in something, wanting to learn something, passionate about something, diagnosed with something, whatever it is? Do people have access to each other? Can they connect? Can communities form? It's either going to happen in the future or it's not. And sometimes we feel like, just a meetup, like we're the lonely company, trying to do this. But we know that we're all in it together with you all, and that feels really good. That's the spirit of Meetup, and I couldn't be more thankful for what you all do. Thank you.